Okay, I think we can start now. It's already 3 minutes over the time. So you guys able to hear me, right? Okay, good. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday to all of you. Okay, so are you guys able to? Did you guys able to go through uh, the article which I shared with you? Okay, that's good. So, do you find anything like relation to blockchain, like how we can connect that article to blockchain? Okay, I think before that, I think we should start with how many of you guys know about the blockchain, or you heard about the blockchain, the word that what is that blockchain means? You have any idea? No. Okay. Okay. So the article which I shared with you, it was related to the Venezuela government. And what happened in Venezuela, that their currency is in hyperinflation, and this currency is in hyperinflation just because that government has not done the good job with the currency, and due to some political and their personal interest, they have like hyperinflate the currency, and because of that the people of Venezuela is in great trouble as of today. And this all thing comes to the centralization of the power. And what centralization here is that people trust the government for the money, and they publish the currency, they print the currency, and the people use it, people save it for their future. But the thing is that due to some political reasons, they are end up in having the losses. So this is something similar thing happened in 2008. Are you guys here able to hear me? Okay. Yeah. So this is something similar thing happened in 2008 also, when US was having the subprime mortgage bubble crisis. And at that time banks were just like selling the mortgage securities to the other banks and making the money, and which ends up in bankruptcy of lot of banks. And some of the banks like Lehman Brothers and the Bank of America Merrill Lynch, which were more than 100 years old. So this is all happened, and some person or group of person in 2008 published a note, published and a white paper on the internet about the currency Bitcoin. And that Bitcoin currency, he has published that white paper, and on 2009 January he launched that network, and which they used to call the Bitcoin peer-to-peer cash electronic currency system. And what that paper was telling about, that for the currency you need not to depend on any single entity. It is something, the way he has developed that Bitcoin is that it is the peer to peer. So the person to person can transact to each other just like as cash. So when you are transacting with cash, you are going to the market, you are giving the cash without revealing your identity, and transaction is taking place. This was not happening in the digital world. It was happening in the digital world when the banks were there. Then bank's credit card, you can swipe and you can do that. But you cannot do as good as cash, where no one is recording which cash you are giving to which person. So this is something was that the blockchain, which was enable, which enabled that that the currency can be also digitally peer to peer without central authority. And the whole thing behind Bitcoin is the blockchain. So then only this blockchain came into the picture, that okay, so this is something, is a very cool technology where you can have the peer-to-peer system where you do not need any central authority. So this is how the blockchain concept start. And you can say the blockchain is that you can manufacture trust, the trust through code. So through the coding, you can manufacture trust. This is what the blockchain is used for, and that is why it got popular. But the thing is that when you are manufacturing trust through code, you have to you have to do some trade-offs, like the speed and the other things, because you have to be in the decentralized network. Decentralized means it is something across the people where there is no one at the central authority, and your software is the law. You can say the software is the law in that case. So this is today we will going to like I would like to share you all the concepts about the blockchain in this presentation, and then we can have the questions, and also I will give you some assignments for to to validate your understanding on this concept. So we can start now. Are you guys with me? Okay, that's good. So this is something like it's the ABCs of the blockchain. So we will just start from the scratch. I'm assuming that you people are hearing the blockchain for the first time. So it is similar to what we used to do the ABC in the kindergarten. We will do the ABC of the blockchain. So contents. The contents which we will going to cover today is that where this all started, blockchain, what this is all about, what is blockchain, the principal technologies behind blockchain, how does it work, benefits, challenges, use cases, and some interesting example. And after that, we will an assignment for tomorrow, and then we will at the end of this exercise, we will try to create a blockchain. So every one of you have to create a blockchain, and so that you can feel and you can see what exactly is blockchain. Because in this area, there are a lot of education is needed. People has created the hype that they can do anything with a blockchain, but one has to understand, like, you cannot, it is not a panacea and you can do everything with it, but it is, you need to understand this technology, that what exactly this is for and how we can use it. Okay, so start with the, how many of you have heard of the Bitcoin? Okay, I see the hands in there. How many of you own the cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or something? I've not seen anyone. Okay.
Sir, I have altcoin.
Which coin?
Altcoin.
Sorry, I'm not able to listen. It's
Sir,
not...
altcoin. Altcoin.
Altcoin.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have not heard of this coin, but yeah, there are around 1400 coins are there. So yeah, is it? So just to start with this concept, first of all, I would like to give you that what people, the major people in this in the industry, are thinking about this technology. So, like there is a one person from Harvard Business Review who runs the Harvard Business Review, Joy Ito. He said the blockchain will do the financial system what the internet did to media. Another one, the Eric Escamillet, who is CEO of Google, is saying that Bitcoin is a remarkable cryptographic achievement and the ability to create something that is not duplicated in the digital world and having the enormous value. So this is something you need to notice, that in the digital world, it is very easy to duplicate. You do the copy paste, and copy paste you can easily do the you can easily like replicate the anything in the digital world. But this technology is something that you have the digital thing, but which you cannot duplicate. So this is what is the beauty about this blockchain. We will get into the details more, but this is all we need to understand before we will get into this. Other thing is a John McAfee, this founder McAfee, you can't stop things like Bitcoin. It will everywhere in the world will have to readjust. World governments will have to readjust to accommodate this. Another Nobel Prize, Peace Prize nominee, Leon Leo, every informed person need to know about the Bitcoin because it might be one of the world's most important developments. So here we are talking about Bitcoin because the thing is that blockchain got into existence because of Bitcoin only. So if you are not able to, if you are not understanding Bitcoin, then you will not able to appreciate the blockchain. There is another one is a Mark Anderson who's invented the Netscape browser. The Bitcoin gives us for the first time a way for one internet user to transfer a unique piece of digital property to another internet user, such that a transfer is guaranteed to be safe and secure. Everyone knows that transfer has taken place and nobody challenges the legitimacy of the transfer. The consequences of this breakthrough are hard to overstate. So you can see that the cyber security and everything, that a lot of scams are happening on the internet, this thing. In that world, if you are coming up with some currency where nobody can hack the system, so it is something you can understand that what kind of this technology is. Another one is from the person who is a co-creator of Facebook, Tyler Winkler. We have elected to put our money and faith in a mathematical framework that is free of politics and human error. So this is all the software. And this software is all, like the Bitcoin is all software which is running on all the nodes. So, and it's all mathematical framework. So yes, I mentioned earlier about the Venezuela, where the politics and human interference like hyperinflate the currency, and now the people of the Venezuela are in trouble. Earlier there was a same case for Zimbabwe. Even this was happened in India also, when they stopped the 1,500 notes overnight. So the thing is that if someone is having the control of currency, it will make the life of the people miserable, that because they are doing the lifelong savings and this can happen. So if the something runs on mathematical framework or something, then you can easily trust on that. And this is what is happening with the Bitcoin also. Other thing is that by the co-founder of PayPal, I do not think is the first encrypted money that has potential to do something like change the world. So these are something my idea behind this to share this is that so you can understand that this is something is very well recognized in the technology world and appreciated by the leaders of this technology world. So to start with, where it all started. So the blockchain, as I mentioned earlier, blockchain technology was first introduced in a white paper entitled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008. This person was actually the pseudonymous person because nobody is able to find this person. Actually, he's the person or a group of person or some country or whoever it is. But this person has started this, like published the white paper and started this networking on January 3, 2009. And he started the network, and he supported this network for one and a half year, like till 2009, 2010, I think February, March. And after that, this person got disappeared, and he left the system with the people, like, and the people are running this system now. So there is the founder of this person, or the group of person. Nobody knows about this person. People are doing the research on it, like who is this, who is the person or the group of person who created this such a fascinating technology. So this is the blockchain is created to enable Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency, as it does not rely on a central government authority. So decentralized means it is something nobody has the control over it. It is running by the mathematical rules, the software, and there only the software is the law. It's Bitcoin are the scarce assets. So the person who has designed this software has put the cap on the currency, that it will start like every 10 minutes. When it starts, every 10 minutes it will generate 50 Bitcoins. Every 4 years it will reduce to half, that is a 25 Bitcoins. And then it will reduce after every 4 years, and by 2140 no Bitcoins will get generated. So the reason behind is that, so that this currency will always have the value, and nobody will manipulate the numbers of it. Now, how you can say that Bitcoin is a currency? So the currency has three attributes. There's a store of value, medium of exchange, and unit of account. Whoever is having these three attributes, which can store the value, which can become the medium of exchange, and which can act as a unit of account, can be act as a currency. And Bitcoin has all the three attributes. So this is how it becomes a currency. It can be collected, traded, and spent whatever you want to do with the money, like with your currency, physical currency, you can do with this also. So in this figure, you can see that how these people are using the currency. So this person A doing money transfer, going to the exchange. You can say that your Unicoin, ZPay, and you will get the Bitcoin. And then there's a person is there who receives this Bitcoin. So this person he will get the Bitcoin against the money. Then he can use the services or products, and give it to the person B. Person B will go to the money exchange, like the Unicoin and ZPay, whatever it is. Then it will go to the bank, and the person B will get the money. So this is how this digital currency is in use. There's one more beautiful quote. Actually, it is there, that what exactly this is about. Like, so one person has described it very beautifully, that this is the first time in history it takes one of the humanity's oldest technology, money. So money is the oldest technology. It is in use since the man was born, because money is always needed to transact the things. Earlier they used to do with the seashells and something else like feathers or whatever they have, and now we have the coins or money. But it is the oldest, so it's the humanity's oldest technology, and one of the most important aspect of the human behavior, which is trust. So this is the first time in the history it takes one of the humanity's oldest technology, money, and one of the most important aspect of human behavior, which is trust. And trust is which is very important aspect of our behavior. It embeds these in open interoperable network protocol without central control. So this trust and the money is there in the blockchain. So blockchain is an open interoperable network protocol without central control. And this has never happened before. So the human behavior, trust, and oldest technology of the humanity is money. Both are in the blockchain. which is an open. Why we are saying open? Open means anyone can participate in this blockchain. So currently, like if you want to create the node of Bitcoin, you can on your computer you can do the you can join the node of the Bitcoin network. So it's an open, interoperable. You can interoperate between the coins. Network protocol. It is the network. There is a software behind the network which govern the rules. So there is no central control, and this has never happened before. That money is without the central control. So you guys are getting what I'm trying to convey. Anything you have at this point of time? Any questions? Yes or no? Okay, okay. Then moving next to again that what is this all about? So in the blockchain, what is happening? So if you see, the blockchain is decentralized. So decentralized means it is across peer to peer. So every node, every computer is a node, and they are talking to each other without any central server. And Napster and BitTorrent were also there in the their peer-to-peer networks, but they were changing movies and files. But this blockchain network is exchanging facts. Facts means are transactions, whatever your digital transactions you have. Now, this peer-to-peer networks, like other distributed systems, have to solve a very different computer science problem: the resolution of conflicts of reconciliation. So, how many of you are the computer science students? Okay. So in computer science, there is I can give you the slight overview, brief overview of this. There is a Byzantine generals problem. So this is the decentralized, in the computer science, computer science is not able to solve the problem of Byzantine generals problem. So the problem is like this. So there are two generals fighting with the enemy, and these generals are also enemy of each other, and they just want to coordinate between them that what strategy what they are making to attack their common enemy is something, or how to reach the consensus to fight the common enemy. So this is something is there, because in decentralized network you are not trusting with each other. So how to generate the trust in the decentralized network when nobody is trust? So in the currently not, if you see the case of Bitcoin, you have 100,000 computers are working. Now they don't know each other, but they have the consensus. They arrived at consensus after every 10 minutes, that whatever the transactions they have come up with and have in the block, they reach to the consensus. So this kind of consensus building in a complete decentralized network is what is the blockchain about, which has never happened before. Relational databases offer in referential integrity, but there is no such thing in the distributed system. So in the relational database, you are using the databases like SQL Server, Oracle, whatever is there. There's a primary key and the second and the foreign key, whatever is there. It's all have the referential integrity. But in case of peer-to-peer network, there is no such thing like that. Now, the thing is that the challenge in the decentralized network is, if two incompatible facts arrive at the same time, the system must have rules to determine which fact is considered valid. So just like an example, like Alice has $10 and she sends twice $10 to Bob and Charlie. Who will have the $10 eventually? So same $10, like in digital world, you can always copy. So if you have sent same $10 to two person, Bob and Charlie, who will have the $10 eventually? So to answer this question, the best way is to order the facts. And if two incompatible facts arrive in the network, the first one to be recorded wins. So this is how the blockchain works. So blockchain is having the blocks concept. In the blocks, they used to order the transactions, and that transaction they need to validate, come to the consensus, attest the proof of work. They have to spend some energy, and then they all the network has to arrive to the consensus that yes, this block is having all the valid transactions, and let's move to the next block. So this is how the blockchain works. Now, so after understanding the facts about this, now what is blockchain? So blockchain is the worldwide ledger. So instead of like earlier we have the internet is a worldwide web, this is the worldwide ledger where we have the ledger is distributed to all the nodes in the network. And as I mentioned earlier, you are manufacturing trust through the code. So this has never happened before. That how can you develop that trust through the code? So this code, this is the way it enables to do that, because this network is open. This source code is open. Everyone knows that what is this source code is, and everyone is going by the rules. So all the nodes in the network just have the mathematical rules, and they follow the rules, and they are able to reach the consensus. And this network is designed in such a way, if anyone wants to go against the network rules, they will end up in losing the money, lot of money. So it is their best bet to go with the network rules and earn the money instead of going against it. So this is how it is designed. So when you go into the more details, you will understand. It is immutable, writing on the stone. So as you are writing on the stone, it is very difficult to erase, or you cannot erase on the stone. The same thing, this is a immutable. And this immutability in the blockchain you are getting, it's just because this network is peer-to-peer, it's decentralized, and everyone is going by the rules of the software. And if everyone is going by the rules of the software, and they are also end up in spending some energy or resources. So when you are generating the block in the blockchain, you are spending a lot of energy, and that energy makes it immutable, because nobody, if somehow some people can attain like more than 50% of the network power, then also they will not able to cope up with the network, and they will not able to erase what is written in the blockchain. So that is why it is called immutable. Normal block database plus, and also you can define it as a normal database plus some software that adds new rows, validates the new rows, confirm to pre-agreed rules, listens and broadcasts new rows to its peers across the network, ensuring that all peers have the same data in the databases. So this is how it's a very, you can say the 10,000 feet above how you can explain the blockchain. So it's a normal database, but there is a software which adds new rows. New rows means new blocks, and they have the pre-agreed rules. Once you generate the block and validate the block, you will broadcast to the network, hey, I have generated the block and it meets all the rules, and I have the proof of work for it. As soon as the peers heard about that block, they will copy that block and started working on the next block. So this is how this blockchain keeps on going. And in this blockchain, every block is having the reference to the previous block, so that you will have the chain of the blocks. So they are interrelated. So if you change anything in the block which is already created, it will disrupt the whole chain. So that cannot be done. Block in a chain is equals to pages in a book. Each page in a book contains a text, the story. So the text, the story is equivalent to the transactions in the block, and each page has information about itself. This is called the, you can say, the block header. So this block header in the blockchain network is having the, like, what is the block timestamp, and what is the transactions, and that is something is called a block header. So this is a similar analogy they have developed with the book. In the block, similarly in blockchain, each block has a header. So this is what is a blockchain. Each block has a header which contains the data about the block, like technical information, reference to the previous block, and a digital fingerprint as hash. So this digital fingerprint is called the hash. So hash here, those who don't know about the hash, is that any contents in a like any file or any like contents of any page, any book, by hashing mechanism, you can always be convert into a fixed length string that is called a digital fingerprint, and that is what is called the hash. So what is happening in the blockchain, the block is having the transactions, they hash all the contents of the block into a hash, and that hash they are using into the hashing of the next block. So in that way, this blockchain will become interrelated, and you can say the interrelated as well as interconnected. So this is the way it has been explained. The more you can get idea about the blockchain is that it's a network centric platform. So network centric means more the network, more the people in the blockchain, more people, it will make the network stronger, and the more the blockchain, the stronger, because it's a more nodes are there. Recording ownership and trust on a peer-to-peer basis. So this is something, it is all happening on the peer-to-peer basis. It is permissionless. Anyone can join the block, anyone can join the network, and anyone at any time can get like out of the network. Internet-wide value exchange mechanism. So this is like, this blockchain is on the internet. It needs the internet as a media, and you can do value exchange mechanism anywhere in the world to who is having the internet. So if I'm in US and somebody is in South Africa, if we want to exchange, we can do the exchange value through this. Everyone can participate. There is nothing like you need some registration, something to join this network. Anyone can participate, even in the remote areas, as far as they have the mobile phones, some smartphones. No identity disclosure. You need not to disclose your identity. Manipulation is difficult due to its distributed nature. Since this is all peers in the network are having the copy of the blockchain. Everyone is having the shared copy. So you cannot manipulate the data in this blockchain. Trustless. You need not to have trust of anyone in the blockchain, because every peer they are anonymous to each other, and they all are following the software rules. So software is the law, and software is having the rules. So nobody has to trust anyone else. And this all is achieved through the consensus algorithm. So there's a consensus algorithm, which like in Bitcoin is a proof of work is there. So they are arriving to the consensus with that, with the rules of the software. So in this way, this blockchain is possible. Okay, I think anyone is having any questions so far? No? Okay, we can move again. So when you oversimplified the blockchain, so what is a blockchain? Blockchain is a technology. It's a ledger of transactions that are maintained on a network of servers called nodes. So as I mentioned, it's all are like all participants are called as a nodes over here. And this ledger of transactions means whatever is in the blockchain. So every node is having all the copy of the transactions happened in the event in the network so far. So everyone is having the copy of the ledger. Each node maintains a ledger reflecting the ownership of assets. So each node is having the this copy of the ledger, and having in the ledger it's having the details like who owns what assets. Ledger is distributed because it is maintained simultaneously on all of the nodes in the network, and this same copy of the ledger is there across all the nodes in the network. The ledger contains a continuous and complete records of all transactions dating back to the origination of the ledger. So it is starts from the day, like in the Bitcoin network, you will have the copy of all the transactions which happened on January 3, 2009, which is the start of the Bitcoin network, to the date today, and time so far. So everyone in the node, everyone in the network has to maintain all the transactions. So that is why nobody can manipulate it. Validated transactions are added to the ledger in groups or blocks using cryptographic methods to ensure the integrity of the transactions. So whatever the transactions are happening in the network, they are grouped into the blocks so that we can order the transactions. And these are because the blocks can we cannot reveal the private information, so they are using the cryptographic methods to ensure the integrity of the transactions. So these cryptography methods is one is the hashing, what I've mentioned earlier, that they used to hash the transactions, and also they use the primary the public key and private key, that is called public key cryptography, to ensure the integrity of the transactions. It is this recording of transactions in blocks to chain of transactions reflected in the ledger that is a source of the term blockchain. So initially it starts with the transactions. These transactions are grouped into the blocks, and these blocks together, when their blocks are interconnected, it becomes a blockchain. This is all blockchain now. Now, what are the principal technologies behind blockchain? So someone can argue that, okay, we are having the blocks, and like give me the example. Suppose like some big company like IBM say, okay, I can create my blockchain, and they can create the blocks also, they can create the blockchain also by interconnecting them. But that is not the blockchain, because blockchain main attribute is the immutability. People trust on Bitcoin today just because that it is immutable. The thing is that it is not in the control of any single person or any single entity. So that is why the blockchain is built from the different technologies. So one is the public key cryptography. So in this public key cryptography, using this, you can do the transactions. You can give the identity in form of key, the public key and private key, and you can do the transaction. So that is what is called. So you can have the Bitcoin address. This Bitcoin address is generated using this public key cryptography. Then there's a peer-to-peer network. Peer-to-peer network is that, like, more the peers are there in the network, more the immutable the network is, because there is a more, when there is a more peers are there, the more hashing power is there in with the network, and you can more rely on the network. So the P2P network is also the is the important technology behind it. And third one is the program, that is a blockchain's protocol, which governs that how many coins can be created, how much coins will be created with the every block, and how many blocks, like there is an adjustment, difficulty adjustments are there, like how can we make sure that only 10 the one block is generated in 10 minutes. So everything is there in the program. So that is the blockchain protocol. So these three technologies together makes the blockchain. So if someone say, okay, I have the program with me and I am creating the blockchain, that is not a blockchain. That is, you can say, the simple database you are creating, which you can do with a simple database. So this is something we need to remember when we are dealing with the blockchain thing. So nowadays, if you see that IBM is developing their own blockchain, and they are creating a consortium, and this there. So this is all are the centralized blockchains. So you cannot, you are not getting the value out of these blockchains. These are just for the namesake they are the blockchain, and they are just misleading the people, and people are not having the enough knowledge about this technology, and that is why they are they are end up in losing the money. So when these three technologies together are there, then only we can have the real blockchain. Now, moving to this, how does it work? So if you see this diagram, like someone requests a transaction, and then this transaction is going to the network, and this network is having the all the peers are there. These peers, these are the nodes. So these nodes are validating those transactions. Once they are validating the transactions, they are adding that block to the blockchain. And this blockchain, once this blockchain is added to the block chain, then the transaction will complete. And there are the confirmations, number of confirmations are there. So if you are just added the block to the blockchain, so it means if your transaction is there in this block, then you have the one confirmation. On again after 10 minutes, you will get one more block. Then we can, and if your transaction is in this block, then it will become the two confirmations. And so this is how this blockchain works. Okay. Anyone has any questions so far? Okay. It's good. So moving next to the private blockchain. So this is something I thought of including this in the slide, this presentation, because this is very important to understand from the concept point of view, and that what is the private blockchain. So private blockchain, there is no private blockchain. First of all, in blockchain, there is only and only is a public blockchain, which is open, borderless, censorship resistant, and neutral, and transnational, whatever is that is called they call the real blockchain. If you are saying, okay, we are building a blockchain and we will control it, it means there is some central authorities there, then that is not a blockchain. And this private blockchain, someone has defined very beautifully, is that it's an attempt to sell what a database can do for a tenfold price. So if the things you can do with the database, then you need not to consider blockchain as an option. Blockchain you will have to consider only when you have something use case where you can use publicly, and where the users are anonymous to each other, and where you need some consensus algorithm, where you will have some crypto coin. Then only you can have the real blockchain. Make sense? Okay. Then moving next to that, what are the benefits of this blockchain technology? So if you see, first of all, there's a disintermediation and trustless exchange. So currently, when you are doing the transaction with credit card, what is happening? So you are swiping the credit card, and it goes to the like Master or Visa, and then Master or Visa, it is going to the bank, and it is going to your account, and then you are getting, like, merchant is getting the money. Now you can see there are so many layers in between them, and they all are charging some cost of it. In case of this blockchain, when you are taking the Bitcoin as an example, it is a peer-to-peer, as good as cash. So when you are going to the shopkeeper and paying the money in the cash, you are not having any cost in paying the cash. This is the same as there in the blockchain technology. You are dealing with the peer-to-peer cash without centralized authority. So this will reduce the disintermediation. So there is no intermediate body is there, and there is no trust is needed for that. Second is empowered users. Users are in control of all the information and transactions. So every node is having all the copy of the ledger. They have all the records, so they are fully empowered. They have full data with them, and so they are they are equally participating in the network. So all users are empowered. In case of the other centralized technology, only the central body is making the like rules and others have to follow. High quality data. Blockchain data is complete, consistent, timely, accurate, and widely available. So it's available on every node, and it's through the mathematical rules. The people through the mathematical rules, we are making sure that, because as far as the this data is meeting the mathematical rules, then only it will be a part of the blockchain. So this makes it a complete, consistent, and accurate. Next one is a durability, reliability, and longevity. So due to decentralization networks, blockchain does not have a central point of failure and is better able to withstand malicious attacks. So it's durable, reliable, and longevity. And that is why if you see that currently the blockchain, this Bitcoin, now nobody is controlling it. It is there in the, it is there from last 10 years, and people are running it, and it is having that much of value because it's durable, reliable. And if you see in the countries like Venezuela, Zimbabwe, or India, when the demonetization happened, this Bitcoin is selling on the premium price. Like in the US, if we are getting the one Bitcoin in $5,000 during that days of demonetization, Bitcoin in India was selling at $10,000 because people have trust in this technology more than what their government is printing for them. So this is all happens because of the network effect. Process integrity. Users can trust that transaction will be executed exactly as the protocol demands, removing the needs for trusted third party. So the thing is that, like in Bitcoin, if you see, there is a set algorithm that there will be only 21 million coins by 2140. 2020, by the year 2140, there will be only 21 million coins will be generated. Every 10 minutes, it is start with 50 bitcoins. As of today, it is, and every 4 years, it is reducing to half. As of today, it is generating 12.5 bitcoins per block, and it will keep on reducing every 4 years. So there is set process. There is no person is there who can say, okay, let's increase the value, let's increase the number of the coins, which is happening in the current government systems like the fiat currency. What is happening with the rupees and dollars? The governments are printing the money as per their need. So the thing is that the people become the victim of hyperinflation or whatever is there, and they end up in losing the money. So this is the benefit what is there. So transparency and immutability. Since this is the decentralized network, everyone is going by the rules. So nobody can change the data, and that is why it is immutable. And that will gives the reliability to the system that yes, this is something you can trust on. Faster transactions, like in interbank settled transactions, it takes like that the like if you are submitting the check for other bank, then the bank will connect to the other bank, and then there will be central bank, and there will be a lot of bodies, and then you will get the payment. Here it's a peer-to-peer transaction. It will directly get into this in the just as good as cash. When you're giving cash to someone, it's a direct transaction. There's no one is involved. So this is a faster transaction. Lower transaction cost. When there is no intermediate bodies will be there, no intermediation will be there, then there will be a less transaction cost because there will be no brokerage fees. So like there will be no master visa card, no banks will be there. It will be a direct as good as cash. So this will reduce the transaction cost. So any questions on the benefits? No. Okay, moving to the challenges. So with the benefits, there are challenges also because this system is immutable, right? And it is something reliable, and it is not without central authority. So there will be challenges also with that. So there is a, first of all, nascent technology. The thing is that it's a people mindset that we want everywhere something who can take the responsibility of. Now in this case, there is no one is responsible. So suppose if your Bitcoin transaction is lost, if you lost the private key of your Bitcoin transaction, or if your wallet, then you cannot reach anyone. The thing is that you are end up in losing because there is no central authority. So this is a nascent technology, and people will not able to accept it, and they will not able to understand. Uncertain regulatory status. People are also not sure about that how the governments, their particular governments, will treat this as a blockchain if the Bitcoin is there. Large energy consumption. So in case of Bitcoin blockchain, there is a large energy consumption in creating the blocks, and that will give the immutability to the network. So any blockchain, if you are building the blockchain, it should have the energy consumption, because energy consumption is the resource which gives when you spend the energy to create the block. This ensures that you are spending some energy. You are spending some energy to create that block, and if you are rewriting that blockchain again, then you have to again spend the same energy. So this will makes your blockchain more immutable. So this large energy consumption is the necessity for having the blockchain, but it is a challenge in the current environment because we are not having enough energy. So that is the another argument. Integration concerns. Since this is a new technology, our existing systems are like the Windows based and this thing. So you have to make a lot of changes in your softwares to integrate it. Cultural adoptions, as we discussed earlier, that is a completely shift to the decentralized network, and we always look for someone who is responsible for, like, who is running this. If we don't know any person whom we can reach out, it's very difficult to adopt such technology. So there's a cultural adoption is there. Cost is also there because blockchain is something, as we discussed, that this open public blockchain is only the true blockchain. It has lot of cost, and the people has to be there in the network to run that. So these are some of the challenges. Now with all this understanding, so there are interesting use cases arises in the blockchain. So very first use case is the time stamping services, that is a proof of existence. So since the data is immutable in the blockchain, that the thing is that in the blockchain we have the peer-to-peer network, and nobody can change the data. So it means if at any point of time, if you added any transaction in the blockchain, that will remain forever because it is immutable. If we cannot change it. So suppose like, just take an example, like you received your engineering degree on today 27th August 2018. Now how can you prove with the blockchain that yes, you received this degree on this date? So what we can do, like, whenever we can hash the degree and attach to the create a transaction in the blockchain, which is the public blockchain like Bitcoin, and we can attach that degree in that particular block which is generated now. So that will become the history, and we can verify at any point of time, and you can present that degree to anyone in the future. Yes, you get this degree on this date. So this is how the proof of existence can be proved with this blockchain using their immutable property. Other one is the recording sales of physical assets such as tangible, personal, property, and real properties. These real property and personal property, you can hash the data and put it on the blockchain so that you can record the sales. That okay, I bought this house on this date. If I put this document hash on the blockchain, then it will be remain forever, and anyone can verify that yes, I bought this house on particular date, and this is the house record. Allow for quicker settlements of real property sales and lease, and should also substantially reduce title insurance cost. So how it will reduce the title insurance cost? because your paper is on the more reliable network, that is immutable. So why we are paying the insurance cost? Insurance cost we are paying for some of these properties, papers, and this because nobody can force it. But if you use these on the blockchain, then it will reduce your insurance cost because blockchain in itself is a reliable one. It's immutable. If something is there on the blockchain, it is immutable. So that is what we can do. Allow financial institutions to dramatically reduce infrastructure costs for fund transfers and securities trading because we can do the digital transactions and it is peer to peer. There is no intermediation. So it is how we can this technology allows financial institutions to reduce the infrastructure cost, reduce settlement times because it is directly peer to peer. So there is no one in between. So you can reduce the settlement time. So these are the compelling use cases are there. This is one of the interesting use case which happened like in 2014 when one married couple has registered their wedding in the blockchain. They just put their marriage certificate, hash it, and put it on the Bitcoin blockchain, and now it becomes a history. So instead of going to the court or anywhere, they just registered their marriage certificate in the blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain, and it is for there forever now. So this is how the people are using it for their purpose. So this is all about this blockchain. Now it's your turn. Like any questions, any comments, anything you have from this presentation which you would like to share or any questions?
So,
Yeah.
could you please elaborate more on the hashing, how it is exactly done?
Yeah. So the thing is that the hashing is the something as a, you can say is a mathematical way. So there's an algorithm, it's a one way of converting the whole data into a fingerprint. So suppose you have this whole presentation, what I have presented today. If I pass this all content to the hashing algorithm, you just understand, you just take it as a mathematical formula. So you will put this all text as an input in that hashing formula. It will give you a fixed length string. Fixed length string is what, like suppose it depends on the hashing type. So like in Bitcoin, there is a SHA-256 hashing they are using. So it will make the string of 256 characters. So it depends on the hashing type. So if you assume that, okay, if I apply on this presentation the 256 hashing algorithm, then the output of that formula will be a 256 characters. So that will be a fingerprint, the signature of this document. So whenever I hash this document, I will always get the same string, same digital, the 256 characters. If I change in this presentation from like questions to question, so I remove the S, the whole 256 character order will get changed. So this is how this hashing works actually. So this is a very strong or very powerful method in the mathematics, which is used in the databases also. So if you see in your databases, like in username, password, people used to store the hashes of the password. They are not storing the full password. They just store the hash of the password. Suppose your hash is like ABCDEF. So it will hash the ABCDEF and put it in the database. So whenever we have this, we have to, whenever you type that password in your username password field, so my program will always hash your password and check whether the output is same for that ABCDF or not. If you input the wrong password, then I will get a different hash and it will never going to match. So in short, we can say hashing is to just consolidate your contents into a fixed length string, and that will remain forever. So if you pass the same document again and again, you will get the same string. But you can never convert from that hash to an original document. You can never do that. So the thing is that if you convert this PowerPoint into a hashing in 256 character, I will get some 256 character length string. But I cannot convert the backward, that I cannot convert that 256 character back into the PPT, back into the PowerPoint. That we cannot do. So hashing is only to convert to get the digital fingerprint of something like some digit, some contents. That's it. That is what we can see. And you have a very good article on hashing also. If you type in Google the hash algorithm, you will get a very good articles over there. It's a very simple thing. So all methods are there in mathematics. You just need to pass, but you need to understand the concept. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay. Okay, so with this now, we come to the end of this session. And now we have an assignment for you, which you have to do finish by tomorrow. Something I got in chat. Okay, so I think Ritik is asking something that I do have a question. Apologies since my mic isn't working. I don't know if he's typing or not. Ritik, are you sending your question? Okay. Is it working? Okay. Any special kind of encryption? So encryption is, I'm not getting that. What is?
I hear you.
What will make it more secure? Yeah, so the thing is that it is all, encryption it's all keeps on changing. So the thing is that as soon as the technologies becomes commercial, you have to get into the encryption mode. So currently in the Bitcoin, there is a SHA-256 encryption. They are using it. So the life for this SHA-256 is something we are considering for 20 years. So after 20 years, it will become the SHA-512. So this encryption will keeps on changing, and it will. We have to always work on to improve the encryption, because the technologies will become more sophisticated over the period of time. So in order to make the encryption secure, we have to keep on changing those encryption algorithms. So at this point of time, Bitcoin is using like SHA-256, which is a very good encryption mechanism. They are, as of today, like the quantum computers can only break it. But this is something as per the whatever happened in the past. Like for 20 years, it is good, but in 20 years, next 20 years, we can have more sophisticated machines, more sophisticated hardware that will break this SHA-256. Then we will move to the next, that is SHA-512. So this is kind of encryption we have to keep on. We need to keep on evolving. Okay. So yeah, Ritik got the answer. Anything else? Anyone has any other questions? Okay. So now coming to an assignment. So in this assignment, I have a couple of things which I would like you to do. One thing is that you have to, every one of you, come up. You have to come up with the one use case. Where do you think that blockchain is something we should use? So in your day-to-day life, just think over it. that where you see that blockchain make the life easy for the people, and consider all the things, all the attributes which we discuss in today's presentation, which is something is making it a viable option. So I would like each one of you have at least one use case, and that use case we can discuss in tomorrow's session. That is the one thing. Second thing is that I have a very good video. So just to summarize whatever is there, so that you can get little bit of these concepts in a one. It's a 20 minutes video where you can see all the things connecting with each other, and you can also like because it is I can understand this is all, even you are hearing the first time. It takes time to digest all the things. So this Bitcoin blockchain overview video will help you to to make your understanding better on this. Then third thing is that with all these concepts, like we discussed about transactions, we discussed about blocks, we discussed about blockchain, we discussed about something on the consensus. So these all things are working and together and making the blockchain. So just come up with a very high level, like what exactly do you think about blockchain? If I ask you to create a blockchain, what all objects you would like to have in that blockchain? It's very high level. And if there is a block and something is there, what attributes do you think? Just give a like search on internet, whatever is there. But I want you to just give a thought on this. Like what exactly do you think if you go with the with that high level, very, very high level design, that what exactly, if I ask you to make a blockchain, what all objects you will consider, what all attributes you will consider, and just go with the way whatever is coming to your mind. But it will give you because when tomorrow we will discuss about that how the blockchain is we can make the blockchain or something, then you will appreciate that whatever you are thinking is working or not. The next one is that there are 3 tools I'm giving to you. So there is a Node.js. How many of you are familiar with a Node.js? Have you ever used? No. Okay, so this Node.js is something developed by Google, and it's really a very good tool where it will make whenever you install on your machine, it will make your machine as a server, and any JS file, whatever you're creating, and ask Node.js to compile, it will give you the output. So I would like you to go through this W3 School's website for Node.js understanding. What is this Node.js? How it works? It's a very simple concept. So this is Node.js, like it will give you some JS files where like hello world sort of program. Just install it on your machine and make the hello world program. That is this is working or not. The next one is that there is a Visual Studio. There is a Visual Studio by the Microsoft. It's a very good editor. You can use any other editor also if you want, because we will develop a blockchain and we will develop in JavaScript. So we need some editor where you can write the code. So this code.visual studio. So Visual Studio has the free code, this free editor, which you can easily use to write the JavaScript and others. And if you have anything else, because Node.js needs only the JS files. So wherever I like this Visual Studio editor. So if you have anything else, then you can integrate with Node.js. If not, then you can use this code, this Visual Studio code. And this is this third article is giving you the integration, that how you can integrate Node.js with the Visual Studio code. And these all are free tools available on the internet. You will get the good help on that also. It's very straightforward. So just try this, play with this, and then tomorrow we will discuss on this on all these points. And then also tomorrow I will discuss with you, walk through you with the blockchain thing, how the blockchain we can make, and how you can add more into this. Sounds good.
Yes.
Okay, so I will post this thing on the WhatsApp, I think. So you all will have this, and you can do this. Anything else in the last moment?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
This is Santosh Zaveri.
yeah,
One question important.
yeah.
Uh, Now, Bitcoin is a legal currency in multiple countries, but in Indian scenario, there are the controversies.
Right. No, so see, the thing is that Bitcoin is something. Bitcoin do not need any certification from any government. So see, the thing is that you are considering is illegal in India because Indian government is not supporting that, right? If we have the transactions in Bitcoin only, suppose I'm in India and you are also in India, and if you give me one Bitcoin and I will give you whatever you need, like the you need one Bitcoin. If I give you uh, something which you want, any material, then it will become a currency, right? So these
Okay.
governments are something is just can stop when you are converting the Bitcoin into their currency, like the Indian rupee. So
Okay.
that linkage is something is a problem. But if you are considering Bitcoin as the currency, right, then we do not need any certification from any government because Bitcoin in itself is a currency.
Okay.
This is what is happening in the earlier when the seashells and this in the old civilizations, they were not having printing notes. They were having the seashells and whatever is there, and they are considering that as a currency.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
So, what will be the timing for tomorrow's session?
I think we will keep the same timing. This
Okay, but in the schedule, it is at afternoon 4 o'clock.
is it?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, is it
So we
then?
will just check and tell you.
Okay. Yeah. So is there something? Is there is any problem with this time, or
No, we don't have any problem.
okay? So yeah, let me check with them. So and we'll confirm you by tomorrow, like what time you would like to have.
Okay.
Okay, and I will forward this all material on the WhatsApp. And anything else? Okay then. Thank you, and have a great day.